The last king of the savannah. Lion, whose name meant little lady in Swahili, wasn't little at all. At 85 years old, she was an anomaly of nature, a lioness who had long outlived her pride, her children, and even her grandchildren. The elders of nearby villages spoke of her in whispers, calling her Mama Wasimba, mother of lions, and claimed she was blessed by the ancient spirits of the savannah. Her massive frame still rippled with muscle, defying the laws of age and time. While most lionesses her age would have long since passed into legend, Lion remained the undisputed ruler of her territory. A vast stretch of land that extended from the golden grasslands of the Serengeti to the shadows of Mount Kilimanjaro. Her size was unprecedented, nearly twice that of a normal lioness, and her golden coat had turned to a rich, deep bronze that seemed to absorb the light of the African sun. But it wasn't just her physical presence that made her extraordinary. Lion possessed an intelligence that bordered on mystical. She had learned to anticipate the movements of her prey not just through instinct, but through a deep understanding of their patterns and behaviors. Young lions would travel for days just to seek her counsel, learning the ancient ways of the hunt from a living legend. The story of how she gained her strength was passed down through generations of pride leaders. They said that as a cub, she had been separated from her pride during a great drought. Instead of perishing, she had found her way to a hidden valley where the ancient spirits of fallen lions gathered. There, they had imbued her with their combined strength and wisdom, charging her with protecting the balance of the savannah. Her eyes, amber pools flecked with gold, held the weight of nearly a century of experiences. When she roared, even the elephants paused to listen. Her voice carried not just power, but the echoes of countless moons, of seasons past, of lives begun and ended under her watch. The deep scars that crossed her face and flanks told stories of battles won against impossible odds, against poachers who dared to threaten her family, against rival prides who underestimated her because of her age, and against the very forces of nature itself. Despite her tremendous power, Lion was known for her mercy. Unlike younger lions who killed out of sport or excess, she took only what she needed to survive. She had been known to share her kills with orphaned cubs from other prides, and even protected smaller predators from unnecessary persecution. The hyenas, normally scorned by lions, showed her a respect bordering on reverence. As she aged, her legend only grew. Some said she could speak to the ancestors through the evening stars. Others claimed she could call the rains during drought, or that she had the power to heal sick cubs with just her presence. While these tales may have been embellished, there was no denying that wherever Lion roamed, the savannah flourished. The grass grew taller, the herds grew stronger, and even the acacia trees seemed to bloom more vibrantly. But even legends feel the weight of time. Though her strength remained undiminished, Lion had grown more contemplative in recent years. She spent long hours watching the sunrise from her favorite ridge, her massive form silhouetted against the bleeding colors of dawn. She would sit there, still as stone, remembering the countless pride members she had outlived, the changes she had witnessed in her beloved savannah, and the battles she had fought to preserve the old ways. Young lions often sought her out during these moments of reflection, drawn by an instinctive need to understand their heritage. She would share with them not just hunting techniques, but the deeper wisdom of the land, the importance of maintaining balance, of respecting the cycle of life and death, and of protecting not just their own pride, but the entire ecosystem they were part of. The most remarkable thing about Lion wasn't her age, her size, or even her strength. It was her ability to adapt while holding onto the essential truths of her existence. She had witnessed the encroachment of human settlements, the changing patterns of the rains, and the slow transformation of her homeland. Yet instead of fighting against these changes, she had learned to navigate them with the same grace she showed in her hunting. As the sun set over the savannah, Lion's silhouette can still be seen patrolling her territory. her powerful muscles moving with the same fluid grace they had shown for nearly 9 decades. The other animals still pause in their tracks when she passes, not out of fear, but out of respect for a creature who had become more than just a lion. She had become a living bridge between the ancient ways and the uncertain future. In the cool of the evening, when the acacia trees cast long shadows across the grassland, Lion's roar still echoes across the plains, carrying with it the power of ages past and the promise of ages yet to come. She is more than just the strongest lion in Africa, she is a guardian of balance, a keeper of ancient wisdom, and a living reminder that true strength lies not just in physical power, but in the ability to endure, adapt, and protect what matters most. As night falls and the stars begin to emerge, Lion makes her way to her favorite sleeping spot, a raised outcropping that overlooks her domain. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, new lessons to teach, and new battles to fight. But for now, the ancient lioness rests, her massive frame outlined against the African sky, a living legend at peace with her place in the great circle of life. Long before Lion became the mythical figure she is today, she faced a defining moment that would cement her place in the savannah's history. It happened during her 20th year, when the worst drought in living memory struck the plains of East Africa. The watering holes had shrunk to muddy puddles, and the once verdant grasslands had turned to dust. Other prides were fracturing, turning on each other in desperate fights over the few remaining hunting grounds. But Lion, already unusually large and strong for her age, chose a different path. Instead of competing for the dwindling resources, she began to unite the scattered prides. It started when she successfully defended a small pride of adolescent lions from a gang of poachers. The young lions had been easy targets, weakened by hunger and inexperience. But Lion, despite her own hunger, fought with such ferocity that the poachers fled, leaving behind their vehicles and equipment. Word of her victory spread across the savannah like wildfire. Soon, other prides began seeking her protection. What made her different wasn't just her physical prowess, it was her strategic mind. She understood that survival meant cooperation, not competition. Under her leadership, the united pride began working together in ways never before seen in the region. She organized the lions into hunting parties that could take down larger prey, sharing the bounty among all pride members. She established a system of sentries to watch for dangers and patrol their expanded territory. Most importantly, she taught the younger lions the ancient hunting techniques that had been passed down to her by the spirits, ensuring their survival skills would endure. But her most legendary feat came during the height of the drought. A massive herd of buffalo, desperate for water, had begun a dangerous migration across their territory. These weren't ordinary buffalo, they were some of the largest ever seen, led by an enormous bull whose horns were said to span the width of a small car. Other predators gave them a wide berth, but Lion saw an opportunity. She spent days observing the herd, learning their patterns, and understanding their weaknesses. Then, on a moonless night, she led a coordinated hunt that would be talked about for generations. With carefully positioned hunting parties and precisely timed attacks, they managed to separate and bring down the massive bull leader. The hunt was so perfectly executed that not a single lion was seriously injured. The successful hunt provided enough food to sustain the united pride through the worst of the drought. But more than that, it demonstrated Lion's extraordinary ability to lead and protect her extended family. The buffalo's horns were mounted on an acacia tree that marked the center of their territory, becoming a symbol of her leadership and the point where young lions would come to learn from her. As the years passed, Lion's influence only grew. She became known not just for her strength, but for her wisdom in maintaining peace between the prides. She established boundaries that all respected, created rules for sharing hunting grounds, and mediated disputes between rival groups. Under her guidance, the lion population in the region thrived, even as other areas saw declining numbers. Her fame spread beyond the animal kingdom. Local communities began to notice that where lions ruled, the balance of nature seemed more stable. The grass grew taller, the herds were healthier, and even the rainfall seemed more reliable. They started calling her the Spirit Queen, believing she had been blessed by their ancestors to protect the land. As she aged, many expected her power to wane, but Lion defied expectations. In her 60th year, she single-handedly fought off a group of young male lions who threatened to take over her territory and kill the cubs of her extended pride. The battle lasted through the night, and when dawn broke, the challengers retreated, humbled by her unwavering strength and determination. Now, at 85, Lion's legend has grown beyond mere stories of physical prowess. She has become a symbol of resilience, wisdom, and the enduring spirit of Africa itself. The cubs born in her territory are said to be blessed with special strength, and other lions travel hundreds of miles just to drink from the watering holes she protects. Her most recent display of power came during last year's wildfire season, when she led hundreds of animals to safety through a network of ancient paths known only to her. The sight of this massive lioness, her bronze coat reflecting the flames, guiding a procession of diverse creatures to sanctuary, became yet another chapter in her growing legend. Today, as the sun rises over her vast territory, Lion continues her daily patrols with the same dignity and strength that made her famous. The marks of her battles, the scars on her face, the notch in her left ear, the slight limp in her back leg, have become badges of honor, each telling a story of protection, survival, and triumph. Young lions still gather at the ancient acacia tree where the buffalo horns hang, hoping to catch a glimpse of the legendary lioness. When she appears, her massive form moving gracefully through the tall grass, even the most boisterous cubs fall silent in awe. For in her presence, they feel connected to something greater than themselves, a living link to the ancient spirits of the savannah. And a reminder that true greatness lies not just in physical strength, but in the wisdom to use that strength for the good of all.